We're open, Kansas City is our way at 41 Action News to highlight local businesses all around the metro that are open or are reopening during the course of the pandemic.
And this morning, we're telling you about one which opened during the pandemic.
And 41 Action News reporter Charlie Keegan joins us live this morning with the story of LEVELUP Esports Arena. Charlie, am I too old for this story? That's the first question I want to start with this morning.
No, this is for all ages, all people, no problem. Your boys might enjoy it a little bit more than you, but, that's not to say that you wouldn't enjoy it yourself. Esports, we're talking about video games and playing those on a competitive basis here inside this building behind me. The co-founders of LEVELUP Esports Arena told me that there were a lot of sleepless nights here over the last year preparing for their grand opening over the last weekend. We're working on this during a pandemic, but they say it paid off. Take a look inside at what it looks like inside this arena. There are about 100 different gaming PCs. There are the PlayStations, the Xboxes, all those kinds of consoles that you'd expect to support local, amateur, and professional tournaments, events, games, so on and so forth. I asked the guys what it was like to build this during a pandemic, and they said supply chain was their biggest challenge. They couldn't get a hold of equipment, and when they could, they were paying double or 3 times, 5 times more than what they would at a normal time. And of course, social distancing between their contractors made things a little slower on the build out, but they say the popularity of esports is going to make the investment worthwhile.
The industry itself is constantly growing. Year over year, it keeps growing, even through the pandemic. I mean, it had a strong year with everything going on, all live events canceled, all the gaming shows canceled. It was worth it to us taking the risk.
Yeah, worth taking the risk because there are a lot of benefits here, a lot of ways that esports can go. I mean, we'll get a little more into it, but I mean, there are college scholarships now for esports players, Taylor. So if you get your kids started now, by the time they're college age, they might be paying their own way through video games and whatnot. I do want to point out, though, that we're in Rosanna Square. This space used to be a couple of different bars and restaurants, and those actually closed in April. The new owners came in, turned it into this, so when one door closes during a pandemic, another one opens here.
If my 8-year-old, soon-to-be 9-year-old Tanner is watching me this morning, which he shouldn't be, Tanner, go back to sleep if you're watching right now, but if he's watching this morning, he's going to say, Mr. Charlie said I could go to college for video games, and he will quote you to me, Charlie, so I'll be prepared for that if it happens. We know LEVELUP officially opened on Friday. How's business going? I mean, they just opened up. What did it look like that first weekend?
I mean, I saw Tanner in here on Friday, ready to go.
Where it was.
So, the lines were busy. No, Gar, who you heard from there in that soundbite, he said that things went really well this weekend. They had, they were at capacity. They had people waiting to get in, waiting for the consoles. It was off to a really good start. So I think it's a sign of a good, promising future.
All right, Charlie Keegan reporting live for us this morning. Just the idea, if my son or any of my sons are able to go to college on a video game scholarship.
How about that?
That's wonderful and mind-blowing.
They're already giving scholarships at local colleges for that. And by the way, don't act like you don't play video games.
Oh, I do, but I'm not at the level of I could get a scholarship for it, is the problem. I'm more